Up here will be Pissed Off Unicorn versus Mandy Bulls.
Here's why you lost. It is his own screw. Oh, one tight.
Both of these are very unique robots. Not only are they in the Fairyweight category, which makes them quite interesting in and of itself, but they're both using fairly unique types of mechanisms. Unicorn is what we call a shell spinner, or a full body spinner perhaps. It has a triangular bar, I guess you would say, on top that actually, while it's spinning, completely covers the robot, making it impossible to approach from any side without making contact with the weapon. And it's going up against Mandy Bulls, which is also very special. It is what we call a shuffler. It has 6 walking legs, but it's not quite a walker because the legs are actually on rotating mechanisms on cams. However, we still give that a 50% weight bonus. So instead of the 150 grams the normal Fairyweight would be, this one is 225. Which he uses in order to run those 6 legs that are actually very quick and nimble, and allows him to use a very heavy wedge on the front, which hopefully can take some of the blows off of Pissed Off Unicorn. The drivers are ready, the judges are ready, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1, fight. Pissed Off Unicorn coming in, getting spun up. There it goes as Mandy Bulls wiggles its way over there. This is by far the cutest robot in this whole thing, especially those bright little eyes on the front. It's using that big wedge against Pissed Off Unicorn, hoping to use its weapon against itself, because when these rotating weapons get hit like that and put off angle, they have a tendency to hit the floor, the walls themselves, and either break themselves or put themselves out. Mandy Bulls looks like he may be having a little bit of trouble with the drive right now. It's functioning, but he's kind of slipping a lot. But he is still very mobile. And that wedge doing a great job of taking the hits off of Pissed Off Unicorn. And Matthew doing a good job of keeping the armored wedge pointed towards the weapon. Very important as he takes another hit off of it. Certainly absorbing the energy without too much damage. Maybe just a little bit of one of those little eyes coming off, but other than that, oh, it has bent the wedge a bit now. It is still a dangerous weapon, and when it does contact, especially on the side, it has a tendency to bend it. But certainly doing what it's supposed to do. It's ramping up on it. Oh no, he's got his backside exposed and it got ticked off a little bit. Might be cutting into the plastic legs a little bit, but they are still functioning. Not nearly as armored on the back. You can actually see the battery wires exposed at the back there, so hate for those to get nicked, but he does have a tail as well, some spikes on the back. Oh, Unicorn actually very fast. Look at that, able to go around the outside of Mandy Bulls and try to chase it. Again, hitting it on the side in the legs. Paul doing a good job of driving Pissed Off Unicorn here, and Matthew as well with the Mandy Bulls, which is now stuck up against the wall as Pissed Off Unicorn is pinching it there for just a moment. Trying to do what it can, because so far the weapon has not been able to break it, although he has been wearing it down. Might only take a couple more hits before he's able to disable it, especially if he can hit on the back like that already. Some of those little pieces on the back, we'll call those a blade of armor. I don't think they were meant as weapons, but keeping him away from from hitting the wires for the moment anyway, as he bounces off of the wedge on the front there a couple of times. That wedge holding up very well. That weight bonus does give it somewhat of an advantage. You can put a very heavy piece on there, even with a strong weapon like Unicorn has. It's difficult to do a whole lot of damage to it, although something is starting to come loose in the body. It is wiggling around a bit. Just over 30 seconds left. I think the wedge might be starting to come disconnected from the body. As it gets hit again and again by Unicorn. Unicorn holding up well, both eyes coming off. He's now blind. And that wedge it's holding, but it's loose. We have 20 seconds to go as Paul hopes Pissed Off Unicorn can finally take the head off of this beetle we've got going on here. The smallest beetle we've had yet. 10 seconds remaining, nearly out of time. Hoping to get one last hit as Unicorn gets flipped upside down. Thankfully for him, there was already less than 10 seconds left. 2, 1, time is up. That's the end of the fight. Power off. Good job on both sides. Oh, there goes the wedge. Finally falls off. Manages to hold on to it till the end of the fight, and that's what mattered. As Matthew's laughing while he wiggles his way back to the blue corner. Great job holding on to that fight. That was one Pissed Off Unicorn, and yet he managed to hold it together through the entire 3 minutes. And Unicorn's weapon working great there. Got a lot of hits in. Paul doing a good job of driving and attacking over and over again, but Mandy Bulls also quite mobile. Managed to keep that wedge towards him most of the time. Aside from getting pinched in the corner a few times, he was very mobile. This is going to be a difficult one to judge, I think. Sorry? Judges have decided is unanimous. The win goes to Pissed Off Unicorn. Congratulations, Paul! As the judges boo for their own decision. That was a very good fight there. It's unfortunate for Mandy Bulls. There's not a whole lot he could do against the Unicorn, but he definitely did hold on well.
That's why you can.
But Unicorn most certainly did put in a lot of damage.